Resist.
Joining us now for more, two people who were there last night, the chairperson of the RNC Youth Advisory Council, Brilyn Hollyhand, and junior at the University of Alabama, Riley McCardle. Good to see you both. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us. Happy Friday.
Brilyn, I want to start with you. Just something that comes to mind here, that, when President Trump been on the political scene for 10 years that I've carried with me, never give up, never quit. He was kind of talking about being an outsider there. Anything stand out to you?
Yeah, a lot stands out. First of all, I was reminded last night how thankful the United States of America is that we got so lucky in that field in Butler that last July where that millimeter miracle happened and the president's life was spared. And not only did the president dodge a bullet, America dodged a bullet. Instead, the students at the University of Alabama would have given a word salad of a commencement address from Kamala Harris. So thank goodness we had the president there. And also thank goodness he didn't give up. Thank goodness he fought, and continued to defend the country. I got to meet with him for several minutes before we went on stage last night. And it was an incredible opportunity to kind of talk about the youth vote and talk about how we keep Gen Z in 26 and 28. And the thing I reminded the president was that quote that he used from Ronald Reagan throughout his campaign. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? And what I told the president is we can tweak that a little bit as we go into the midterms, as we go into 2028, and simply ask my generation, are you better off than you were 100 days ago? And the answer is a resounding yes. I mean, Biden's America was broke, woke, and embarrassing. Today, Trump's America is strong, proud, and thriving. That right there is why Gen Z is moving to the right more by the day.
Brilyn, I talked about that at the beginning of the show. I mean, they got nothing to run on, any proof of anything. That was pathetic, what they left our country with. Riley, how about you? Anything stand out?
I totally agree with Brilyn. And, I think a lot of people came into that speech hoping that he would just say a couple nice words to graduates and then leave the building. But I think people really appreciated the fact that he didn't shy away from his record. He pulled no punches. He talked about men and women's sports. He talked about the economy and how he's making it better for college students. And I think people really appreciated that. I looked around the room at some point and everyone was on their feet the entire time. And I thought that was really special.
President Trump, he is 78 years old. So, Brilyn, why does a 78-year-old man, why is he such a rock star with younger people, which he totally has grown the GOP base in that category by a long shot?
It's super simple. It's a one-word answer, hope. He's brought our generation hope. He's performed CPR on the American dream, and he's revived this idea of hope in our nation. I mean, in 100 short days, the president's given us cheap gas, he's given us secure borders, and like I said, performed CPR on the American dream, making life easier for young Americans to grow up in. All Biden did was give us LGBTQ studies in Pakistan. Last November, 84 of the 88 major college campuses in this country saw Gen Z shift to the right by 11 points. That is a double-digit shift. And remember, just a few months ago, when they said our age group was long gone, we were owned by the DNC. And that's old news.
Riley, what do you think? How about this? Let me ask you this. What's unappealing to you as a young man about the Democrat Party? Why don't you like them?
Oh, there are so many reasons, but I just think mainly the economy is a big thing. As I'm a junior at the University of Alabama, so obviously I'm starting to think about how am I going to afford a home? How am I going to afford to raise a family? And these people are focused on trans issues and just so many things that don't really matter. And President Trump and the Republican Party are focused primarily on making life better for Americans and Americans in my generation.
So, Riley, you're saying that the GOP and President Trump under his leadership, they are focused on things that matter, not nonsense. Actual
Absolutely.
issues. He spoke to the American people about that, and he won an election. Go figure. All right. I hate to tell you both this, that my next segment, how I'm going to end the show, I'm talking about, Riley, you said buy a home. Well, starter homes in 233 cities around the country are now $1 million to get into one. It's tough, and that happened under the previous administration here. So, gentlemen, I thank you coming on, and I wish you the best of luck going forward. And everybody, as I said, coming up, a starter home in the United States in 233 cities will cost